Good morning. How are you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Welcome to another episode of Dazed, Confused, and Generally Buggered. It is May the 4th, and we are here today, brought to you by the guys over at Abode Homes. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring the live broadcast for the next coming week and all content that comes out as well. If you don't know who they are, we'll be putting the details into the description below so you can click on that for the finish. But basically, they're a modern building company. So what they do is they build energy efficient housing for the UK market. So they can build big homes. So they've got big homes at the moment, a very large home, plush, beautiful home over in Oxfordshire, which is available at the moment. Or they have smaller homes which they build on smaller plots of land as well. And basically the homes are really carefully designed and then made from fabricated timber, so they're completely economical and they're highly sustainable as well. And they're really quick to erect. So if you've got a plot of land and you want to build something, and using them as the people who are going to build it for you, it will be done a lot quicker than just your general bricks and mortar homes. And they look absolutely stunning. And you can go and check out if you want to share their website with you right now and go and take a look at them. Abode Homes, absolutely. Their stuff is I think it looks amazing personally, but here you go, have a look. This is their website. You can go and take a look at them, abodehousing.co.uk. That's ABODDE housing.co.uk, and all their contact details are on there, and some of the houses that they've built and that kind of thing is all available for you to see on their website. So thank you very much to them for sponsoring the show this week, Abode Homes, and their logo will be constantly up in that top corner there all week on all the edited content from this as well. So absolutely 100% thank you very much to them for sponsoring us today and for the rest of the week. Anyway, so welcome to another live broadcast. If you have just joined us and you're brand new, we're doing this every single day. What it is a live broadcast answering your social media and video questions, and also talking about some of the bits and pieces that might be able to help you create content. So first things first, I'm Simon Scholes. I'm the founder and creative director of this business right here, Perception Studios, and we're an award-winning visual marketing agency, and we have brands and businesses create content that really helps them stand out on lots of different social media platforms. It could be boomerangs, GIFs, 3D GIFs, it could be cinemagraphs, it could be documentary videos, it could be a video for your website. That's the kind of stuff that we create. And it can be video, animation, aerial work, photography work, pretty much anything that's visual for your brand and then goes out on your social media or is used to help increase the knowledge of your brand across social media. However, a few years ago, it became quite obvious to me that not every brand and business obviously has the budget to necessarily spend on that kind of thing. So what I decided to do was to help those brands, help those businesses grow by creating content themselves for free. What could you do yourself that wouldn't cost you a penny, but just a little bit of time to help you grow your audience? And so that's how I came up with my How to 9 Times Your Social Media process. That's how I wrote my book, How to 9 Times Your Social Media. That's how that went to #1, because it was helping brands and businesses understand what they could create themselves for free, not costing them a penny. And let's face it, free is everyone's favorite 4-letter word. Well, it's one of everybody's favorite 4-letter words. And at the moment, during lockdown, I'm sure most people are using far more than just the word free as a favorite 4-letter word. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us today. We are currently live on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, the Facebook How to 9 Times Your Social Media group, and the Perception Studios group as well. Still not on LinkedIn, working on that, but they are still deeming me probably not fit for going live on LinkedIn because I don't broadcast enough, even though I go every day. But whatever, we'll see. But if you would like to get in touch, as always, the comments are open on whatever platform you're listening or watching on at the moment, whether it's on the live or the replay. Please leave me a comment. Let me know that you're there. Let me know that you're alive. And if you are on the replay, how about you use the hashtag replay, just so that I know that's what you're watching on. So then I can dive in and maybe answer your questions on text and not just assume I've answered them on the live stream, because my memory's going. I can never remember if I've answered the question or not. Anyway, what is today? Yes, it is. It is May the 4th. Today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you as well. And I want to chat to you about what you can do with your social media right now. So many people forget about different days that are happening throughout the year that they can just tag their content into. May the 4th is a huge one. It is a global sensation, so much so that actually Disney tried to copyright recently May the 4th be with you. So if anybody used May the 4th be with you within their content, they were trying to copyright it to the point that they could use that content to advertise Star Wars because they own Star Wars now. It kicked up a shitstorm, and obviously that's not the case anymore. But yeah, it's such a big thing. May the 4th is such a huge thing for the Star Wars brand that they were trying to actually hijack it and make it say that it's their idea, that it's theirs. It belongs to them because they own Star Wars. And it doesn't. The date doesn't. It belongs to them. They can't copyright a date or anybody using that to be connected in line with Star Wars. So now they can't use anybody's content. But I thought it was quite an interesting little story to start everything off with. But there's so much you could do with your content connected to today. And then look at what's happening tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Now, some brands can put a lot of money behind their content. Other brands don't necessarily have a load of money to put behind it, so they just need something creative. This is where actually coming to an agency like us or other agencies out there that I'm going to show you some of the content from actually is really well worth you actually doing if you've got the money to spend. Or if you don't have the money to spend, actually some of the content I'm going to show you from some really big brands actually is very cost effective to make. And in fact, you could do it yourself. So what kind of things could you do right now to help your brand and your business for Star Wars Day? For example, what could you create right now, as soon as this live broadcast is finished, that could maybe help get your brand out further on Star Wars Day? And trust me, it's well worth doing. I worked with a coach a few years ago. I'm a leadership coach, and we were going through the entire year, organizing the entire year, making sure that we knew what content was going to be created as and when. And we got to the end of it, and I was asked the question, okay, so we're starting this off with blogging and that kind of stuff. So when should I create my first piece of content? And the next day was May the 4th. So I suggested that they wrote a blog about May the 4th, but more specifically, that Darth Vader was such a crappy boss, such a shitty leader, that the person who built and architected the Death Star missed the weakness because of how bad a leader that Darth Vader was. So then it was catastrophic for the Empire. And so she wrote this about that, and obviously tied it back into business and how it could work with your brand and your business. And it was one of the best performing blog pieces to date. And that's how simple it is for you. You just need to find something that's going to connect with your audience on an emotional level. So yeah, I want to show you guys some content that I've found, some content that I knew already existed, and just give you a small example of how powerful tying your content into a specific date could be for your brand. And it doesn't have to be for Star Wars. What you do have to do is remember, take the fact that you might not like something out of the equation. So if it is National Bee Day and you don't like bees because you've been stung by them many times, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be creating content connected to them, because your audience may not hate bees. And in fact, 99% of your audience may not hate bees. So therefore, you need to make content that's appealing to them, not appealing to yourself. Yes, you have to enjoy making it, but you have to think a little bit outside the box for your brand, for your business, and actually step away from the fact that you might not like something. And there's a problem I've had in the past. People face, yes, but that's you, not your business. Your business doesn't care. Technology doesn't care. Technology and your business are going to keep on rolling, and your business is going to stop rolling if you're not relevant to the audience that you're trying to talk to. If you can't sell, if you're not really selling very well, and you're not really getting your brand out there, then you're kind of on a hiding to nothing. So number one, obviously sell, but number two, don't be afraid to use these other channels just because you don't like them. But let's have a look at some of this content anyway. So May the 4th is an opportunity for a lot of brands to be very creative. So there's a website called The Drum, and they make some really cool stuff. Let's just see if I can find the pieces that I was talking about, because I just think these are really cool. So, right, if I just share my screen. And here we go. So this is the first one I found. This is for the Stanley Cup in America, the National Hockey League. And It's a really simple one. Soon our opponents will experience the full power of the dark side. And it's the Oilers, I think it is, who they've painted their faces in the same colours I have, obviously, because the Oilers are orange. But obviously that's the Dark Lord, and that is I can't remember his name now for the life of me. But anyway, it's one of the characters from the very first Star Wars, which wasn't the first Star Wars. It wasn't New Hope. It was literally like the Phantom Menace. There you go, and I think that's exactly what he was, wasn't he? He was the Phantom Menace. I think there was another name for him, but let's not worry about that. So that's one example of a really simple piece of content. It's a GIF, performed really well. And yeah, as you can see, it got like a load of likes, 834 likes, lots of people talking about it. PlayStation one's a little bit long, so we won't show you that one. This is another interesting one. This obviously had a little bit of budget behind it, using green screens and the like. But I think this is again an entertaining piece of content, just nice and simple, using the Force to pour himself a glass of Jameson's whiskey, and then calling the glass to himself and drinking. That is such a simple piece of content. Now, yes, it's taken a little bit of budget because I've used green screens and the like, but a really simple piece of content tied back into a brand, tied back into a business. And as you can see, lots of views, 2,900 views. That's just through this website alone, 112 likes just through this website alone. So really popular piece of content, and again, really simple to make. Another one that I found on here, and I really love this one, really simple, and not that one, sorry, the Reebok one, using the Force to make a pair of Reeboks float. It's just a photographic piece, visual, again, very simple to create, but really powerful, and tying it back into May the 4th. This one I thought was genius, because it's such a cheap piece of content to make. Dress somebody in a waistcoat with a white t-shirt on and a pair of jeans, stand them with a dog, and there you've got Han Solo and Chewbacca. This is how easy it could be for you to create content for your brand right now. All you've got to do is just think, what could I do that would be appealing to my audience for what it is that I do? And it's such an easy one, such an easy one. You could be a plumber and two guys holding a piece of plumbing, a piece of piping, and then just photoshopping the lightsabers. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular, just something that's going to capture people's attention when they're scrolling through their social media feeds. There's so many others that we can go through. I mean, for example, this one from NASCAR, another GIF with BB-8, but BB-8's body's being changed into a Goodyear tire. Nice and simple, but really, really effective for their brand and for their business. So just have a think outside the box. This is another one that I found a while ago, and I want to go back to it because I really liked it. If I can find it, there it is. This one was made by a team that I've worked with in the past, United Visual. They were working with Fuel 10K, who are a food brand. Effectively, they create fuel for people who exercise a lot. And I thought this one was absolutely brilliant. So if we go like this, it's a boomerang, effectively. There you go. And they built an AT-AT out of their products, basically, a whole AT-AT out of their products. Got it standing on the sand, and then just create that boomerang effect on it. So it's super simple for you to be creating content right now connected to May the 4th. But I don't want you to just think about May the 4th being the only day that you can connect content to. You can connect content to all sorts of different events that are happening around the world. It doesn't have to be purely content that's created for big global days. For example, obviously yesterday is May the 4th, but if we go to one of my favorite websites, thefactsite.com, obviously we've got May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day, but tomorrow, Cartoonist Day. What could you create content-wise for your brand that will connect to cartoonists or people who like cartoons? Just little ideas could be really cool. Could you get the whole team to dress up as cartoon characters, perhaps, and then do a Zoom call and have everybody on the screen all dressed as their different cartoon characters, take a photo, bang, bob, out you go, pushing that to your different social media channels, just saying, we're celebrating Cartoonist Day. Just little things like that could really draw in a potential new audience for you, people who may not necessarily have ever considered watching or looking at your content, but maybe seen that, thought that's pretty cool, then come to look at the rest of the stuff that you create. got value from it, and decided that they want to follow you as a brand or as a business. So start thinking outside the box. Start thinking about what you can tie your content into. This is why I go on and on and on about this. And I know I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but it's because I believe in it. You've got to plan your content. You've got to plan your marketing. If you don't know where you're going with your marketing, if you don't know where you're going with your content, if you don't know what you're creating, what you're talking about, you're going to make life so much more difficult for yourself. Like, for example, obviously today is May the 4th. If you hadn't thought about creating content for Star Wars Day, you might have an idea in your head right now, but you're thinking, oh, it's just going to take too long to do. Now, if you'd thought about that 3 months ago and got that planned and got that prepped, you could have created that content a long time ago and had it sat ready and waiting to go so that you can go, bang, here's our Star Wars May the 4th content. But if you don't plan, you end up thinking about the idea on the day, and then you end up either really making a bad job of it or just simply not doing it at all, which is even worse than just doing a bad job of it. Yes, if you do a bad job of it, it might make it look a little bit foolish sometimes, but at least you're putting some effort into putting something out. If you're not doing it at all, then you're not communicating in any way, shape, or form. And there's nothing worse, in my mind, of not communicating. If you're not communicating, nobody can hear what you've got to say. Nobody can get any value from what it is that you've got to say on your content. So start putting some value out. Okay, hopefully you've got some value from that and understand the idea behind simple, easy content, a bit like the Volkswagen one, or you can go a little bit more far-fetched and a little bit more fancy and create something like the guys for Jameson Whiskey did. But it doesn't, you just need to think outside the box for what it is that you're going to create. And like I say, just because you may not like Star Wars doesn't mean your audience doesn't. So try and remember them as well as remembering yourself. Yes, you need to enjoy creating the content. Yes, it has to be fun for you. But remember that your audience are also going to be involved in this as well. And it's such, especially on May the 4th, it's such a huge event. It'd be crazy not to try and tie your brand into that fantastic hashtag that everybody across the globe is currently using. So absolutely 100% think about maybe some content today. It doesn't necessarily mean you can, because let's be honest, like I say, it's a bit of we're already halfway through the day, aren't we? So it's going to be difficult to necessarily get something created. But have a think about what you could have done. Like, for example, Abode Homes, they could have done something about the fact that if they built the Death Star, it wouldn't have blown up. Just anything like that would have been really, really simple and connected into the day itself. Obviously, try and keep what you're creating on brand, but have some fun with it. Anyway, if you've got any questions about May the 4th or tying your content into events or just generally any social media or video questions today, please do let me know what they are. Drop them into the comments today. I know it's the start of a week. I know it's been it's been a long weekend. I really feel like it's been a very long weekend. I feel like lockdown has kind of started to take its toll on me today as well. I woke up feeling really feeling not great whatsoever. And yeah, I did a bit of exercise and that boosted me a little bit. But yeah, it's been a really, I don't know, just today's felt like a bit of and this weekend felt like a bit of a hard slog. It's felt like a long weekend. And this is feeling like a slow start to the week. But it is May the 4th, so it is a good start to the week. And yeah, I might even introduce Max to Star Wars a little bit later on as well, when he wakes up from his nap. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to drop them into the comments, whatever channel you're watching on. I'll get to see them. And also, while you're doing that as well, feel free to come and join my group, How to 9X Your Social Media. Join that group right now. I'll put the link in the comments on this video. And if you come and join the group, you can also download my book, completely free, my book, How to 9X Your Social Media. You literally click on the link. It'll take you through to the system. And you just fill in some details. You say yes or no as to whether you want to hear from me ever again. You don't have to hear from me ever again, which is a bonus because I am a dodgy northerner. But if you do want to hear from me again, then you can get my weekly newsletter, which would be really cool and be awesome. But either way, you get my book absolutely free, will not cost you a penny. It's a former #1 book. It'll take you through the whole process. I take my clients, my customers through on how they can create content that really helps them stand out on social media. So if you want to come and join that group, I'm going to copy and paste the link for the group into the comments right now on whatever channel it is that you're watching on. Come and join us, come and say hello, and hopefully you will be able to come and join that group and just have some fun. Try and get everybody else chatting, consume some of the other content that goes in there. Obviously, maybe if you're just joining us right now and you're just wondering what this is all about, well, the video is going to end fairly soon, so you could either watch the whole thing on replay, or if you prefer, I break it down into small little bite-sized chunks that you can go and consume in your own time, and they're much smaller. They're like 5 or 6 minutes long, so you can watch one video here and one video there, or you can listen to the entire podcast, which will be live tonight on your podcast stream of choice: SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and many others as well. So if you want to get yourself a podcast to listen to, how about you subscribe to the Social Media Podcast right now, and then go and listen to it in full a little bit later on this evening when it goes live about 6 or 7 o'clock-ish. Anyway, I'm going to disappear because the comments and the questions are quiet today, and I understand that it's a weird day. It feels like a really strange day. So absolutely 100% understand that. If you do have a question while you're watching on the replay, drop it into the comments. Or if you don't want to stick your hand in the air and ask that question, feel free to email me, simons@perceptionstudios.co.uk. The link to do that is in the description box below. And I will catch you tomorrow for another chat about social media. And we're going to talk about using music on your content and what different websites there are out there that are available to you to get hold of some royalty-free music. And that doesn't mean free. So we'll chat about that as well. Anyway, until tomorrow, stay safe. Have a great day. Enjoy May the 4th. And if you are a Star Wars fan, absolutely, may the Force be with you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.